we expect big news when it comes to semiconductors in the coming days because we have something in the pipeline. What we would like to see in the future is that Israeli entrepreneurs feel comfortable to work without mediation. Come here, visit production hubs, do the business directly.
Are you also expecting big contribution from Israel or India on the semiconductor front? Because India is very focused on that,
right.
As well as the startups.
So on the semiconductor field, as I said, I was insinuating that there was some news already out in the Indian press, but I don't want to say it officially before it's announced, but we expect big news when it comes to semiconductors in the coming days because we have something in the pipeline.
Just give us some news if that's there.
Well, I cannot put the carriage in front of the horses. There are some private sector people that are initiating this. That's their role. They're going to announce it. But the trend is very clear. We're going to see a lot of movement there. And another field that we want to promote is the whole issue of sourcing. So that can be relevant both for the innovation sector, but also for the traditional sector. India wants to attract companies to produce here. I was already approached by several Israeli companies that are interested in producing in India, and here we have to see how it could work. It's in the past, and I think it's a situation prevalent today. A lot of Israeli entrepreneurs are sourcing their products in China. Okay, the Chinese have some advantages that have to do with logistics, with hubs of production, and the question is how this shift is going to take place and what India has to offer in this regard. We are working with economic bodies that have experience in this, like the Israel-Asia Chamber of Commerce in Tel Aviv. They are very knowledgeable, and usually they are working through agents or mediators that are actually mediating the Indian environment into the Israeli entrepreneurs. What we would like to see in the future is that Israeli entrepreneurs feel comfortable to work without mediation. Come here, visit production hubs, do the business directly. So there is a gap that still we have to narrow before we can really enjoy what India has to offer in terms of labor, in terms of production capacity and things like that. And this is something that I will have to dive into in order to, as I said before, to untap the potential that exists.
But as you mentioned in this answer, that you are preparing for a shift. So can we understand that now Israel is more willing to invest in India than China? Because we are the competitors here in the Asian sphere.
Yeah.
So what do you understand from your statement?
Well, the nature of our relations with China wasn't necessarily in the context of investment. It was in the context of enjoying the manufacturing capability that the Chinese market could offer for those who want to import finished goods to the Israeli market. Because the Israeli market is a knowledge-based economy that is concentrated mainly in exports of services and less in exports of finished products. Our traditional industries died decades ago. And we actually develop IP, develop patents, and then we go and produce in other countries. So the question is to what extent we will be able to produce here. There are some Israeli companies that are already doing that, but we want to expand that. And that will require investments, and that's what we want to promote.
So can we conclude that India is more preferred than China?
Well, I'm a diplomat, but it goes without saying. The bonds that unite, that bring together India and Israel are unique. First of all, because of the common history, both the Jewish people and the Indian people have been subject to invasion of empires 2,000 years ago and before. We were invaded by the Greeks just as you were. And we maintain the capability to keep our heritage and our identity despite thousands of years of invasions of empires. We have in common, as I said before, the principles of freedom, of moderation, of accepting the other. Many things bond us together, and we have an excellent relationship that is, and the best symbol of that is the very good relationship between Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Netanyahu, and the partnership they have created years ago when they exchanged visits, and we are following that lead. We've been benefiting from this relationship a lot, and we have natural friendship that I feel very warmly since I arrived here from the Indian people. And I'm grateful for that, and I'm looking forward in engaging with the Indian people, because at the end of the day, this connectivity is between people.